Hello everyone, Sam Baxendale here, co-founder of Kinetik Hiring. I'm here today to answer the frequently asked question. So today's question is from Jessica, who is a HR head of an e-wallet company here in Malaysia. And she asks, Sam, what is the best way to conduct a performance review in the current new norm situation that we find ourselves in? I would start by addressing the most important point, which is I think it's really important to turn up the empathy dial in the current climate. It's been a tough time for many people in the workplace. So I think it's a good opportunity to use the performance review as an opportunity to truly engage with your team members. So that's point one I'd start with. I would say secondly, think about increasing the cadence of your reviews. If you're currently doing reviews every 6 months or a year, why not reduce that? I would say conduct these reviews every 3 months at most to again enhance the feedback cycles with your team members. I think that's really important consideration at the moment. I would say also think about an appropriate location. Just on a practical point, if you're going to roll out one of these sessions, give it a sense of occasion, an appropriate setting, make sure the noise levels are appropriate and give yourself as long as possible for the session itself. I think that's really important that we sometimes overlook. The next point, set really clear parameters for the review, both quantitative and qualitative. So what I mean by that is quantitative in terms of performance metrics, measurements, how do you clearly identify, let's say numerically in performance terms, how someone is performing, but also think about those qualitative aspects as well. What have they learned? What about personal development? What have they taken on board? I think that's really important to get that combined aspect as well. Make sure the session is two-way traffic. Don't just give reviews and give them feedback. It's an opportunity for them to feedback to you how they're feeling and how they're doing, and perhaps where the organization can give them more support. That's a really important aspect of an effective performance review, particularly in the current climate. I would also say make sure you give yourself the opportunity to give praise where appropriate. Don't just give feedback, albeit constructive. Think about positive things as well and really try and amplify the praise aspect. I think people in the current climate need to feel valued, and I think it's something, again, we can easily overlook. So don't be too practical. Think in terms of how you're going to make your guys feel following that performance review. I would also make sure you take notes or maybe record it on video. So there's an actual reference that you can go back to make sure that everything is, you've got your due diligence there and you can refer back to it as appropriate. And then set objectives from the next review to create a sense of continuum in terms of the sort of performance cycle. So they're my points. I think if you address those points in turn, that should lead to a much better engagement level with your guys, and you should be able to get much more value out of your performance review. So thank you.